Hi there, everyone. New video, and today it's going to be covering the Air India crash, which recently happened, which was banned from India to the UK, where unfortunately upon liftoff it literally got stuck in the air, came back down, and there was numerous fatalities, but one person survived. And I do have some questions around this because I've been having discussions around this topic with a few people, and I just find it very fascinating. I mean, glad that the person who was on board is alive, but just some of the just I suppose just some of the information that's come out of that is a little bit questioning, and I'm thinking around how shook up the person was that escaped. I mean, if you look back at the footage, if you can easily locate the footage online, and where you see the moment of the plane going down and then the fireball that erupted, you would have to question yourself there if the person was sitting there in that seat, as they say, seat 11A, was sitting there and the blast of fire from where he is going to engulf him. You'd think he's just instantly dead. Third degree burns, fourth, fifth degree burns, whatever the case may be. But from inspecting, the images that have come out of the person that has survived this horrific incident, there was a few, marks and, bruising. But to me, if you're in that situation and you're engulfed by such flames, from jet fuel, you should be seeing a bit more injury. So my initial thought of it when it happened is that he jumped out of the plane as it was about to come crashing down, and luckily he may have, hit a tree, hit a building, or so on and so forth, where he got his injuries from. But from the latest interview from the survivor, he claims that he just stayed in his seat and that he witnessed other people dying around him. And I just find that hard to believe, considering, as I was saying, the flames from the jet fuel, and surely that would engulf him. And what I fail to understand is that there are clearly people sat directly behind, so that have sadly lost their lives. So if he was sat in his seat, why is it then that his life is spared compared to the others behind him? It just does not make logical sense. And I think the only thing that I can come to the conclusion of is maybe he was delirious, shook up when it happened, and maybe he doesn't have the recollection of maybe what happened leading up to the exact moment. That is my conspiracy around it. That's my thoughts around it. But I just don't see how this is the case, in terms of him staying in his seat and somehow coming away relatively unscathed. Considering the death toll of what it is at the minute and just the amount of casualties, it just does not make logical sense. And you could ask, it's a miracle. You could say, should I say, it's a miracle, compared to, what's actually happened. Like, what's actually happened is a miracle, essentially. But I don't know. I'm not here thinking, what, it's a miracle. I believe, my personal opinion is that he jumped, knocked himself out, something like that, came around, a bit delirious, and so on and so forth. Because there is even footage of him walking out of where the flames are near enough. It's not directly where the flames are, but even still, it's like as if the way that it's filmed, it's as if, he has jumped out delirious, then he's, walked free, essentially. Because then you could even ask as well, if the area of the plane which he was in crashed in a different area to where the fireball happened, why him? And that may sound bad, but why him if there's other people behind him, other people to the right of him on the side? It just does not add up. It just does not add up. So I'm a little bit skeptical about this. In terms of flying, let us know your thoughts whether it has put you off of flying. I mean, you got to understand, right? There are loads and hundreds of flights that take off every day, and this is fingers crossed, not something that happens on a regular basis. But we are starting to see a lot more aviation incidents. There's been a few as of recent. You could look at the helicopter crash that happened in the US, for instance, where there could be an air traffic control fault. Or there's numerous, like I think there was a few other incidents as well in recent times. So this is beginning to be on the rise. Is that because Boeing are taking less, precautions, safety checks, safety measures, testing when they're carrying out these inspections on the planes before they ship them out for commercial use? That is a question that we could raise, and I think it has also been documented that the CEO that took over previously was more interested in making money, and the problem is that when you're more interested with making money, you're going to cut costs. By cutting costs, you're cutting down the quality and the safety, and that is what leads to situations like this, sadly, potentially. Now, the black box has been recovered, so we will get some more information as to what exactly caused the issue on the Dreamliner, which will be interesting to find out exactly what malfunctioned, what the issue was. But we'll see that as it comes. I'm pretty sure I will do another video updating on that once that does happen. But yeah, that was the Air India Boeing 787-8 Dreamliner, which crashed there in India. And yeah, there's not really much else to say. Thoughts go out with the family and friends of the victims. There was a big number of British nationals that were on that flight, mainly because it was coming to the UK, obviously, including a family whereby some of the family members just got citizenship, and sadly they lost their lives, and along with a few kids as well, which is definitely sad to hear. But yeah, we are gonna wrap it up there, I think. Like I said, please do stay tuned for more videos. There will be more videos coming up. As I said, general topic related, anything newsworthy, as well as the usual stuff as well in terms of MMA videos, concert videos. They will all be happening and coming on the YouTube channel. Don't you worry about that. Until next time, take care and have a nice day. Bye.